Alright, got my Kingdom Hearts hat on. Sweet. Cool. So, let's just start fresh here. This is something I'm working on, and I'm really excited to show what's been happening. This isn't quite live yet, as I described, but it's hopefully going to go live at the end of this year, maybe before then. And we've seen it before. This is part of the very early build of the beta, I would say beta alpha, and yeah. One thing I did change are these glass panels. You know, now they're cracked. They look cooler. They still kick up, you know, like pieces of glass when you're walking. You may not be able to see it, but when you play it, you can see like particles of glass that are kicking up when you walk on those panels. Cool. Things seem to be running well. Awesome. Okay, we're back. Alright, so, yeah. We'll just... So if you look in the bottom right corner, it shows the title, Unknown Lands, Dream World. That's something that's going to be happening with the actual game. So when you go from area to area, you'll know where you're at. And yeah, this is a Dream World, and it's pretty inspired by Kingdom Hearts. You know, your first level being in a dream on a platform, and a door ahead of you. So that's where that inspiration comes from. Can't quite go to them yet.
Entering these paths is not meant for the likes of you, Jacob. Unless you're prepared to fight for your ground.
So I am still working on this. It's not done yet by any means, but I am pretty excited about what I have so far. And I just wanted to show a little bit about that. We're going to try to counterattack him here. So there we go, green flash.
giving up so soon.
So, yeah, this is where I need to work on it a little bit more. Some other stuff is gonna happen. But, yeah, you have to fight this guy a few times, and then the chapter ends at the very end. So, we're just gonna go ahead and defeat him. And then, yeah. So that's kind of a little bit of what Chapter 1 is supposed to look like, and it's adapted exactly from the book. So what we saw last time is sort of a rough adaptation, but this one is pretty much 100% adapted from the book. I just need to continue working on those cutscenes, refine them a little bit, and then it'll be ready for everyone else to play. But yeah, just wanted to show a little bit of that. And with that out of the way, we'll jump into some Doom here. But yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty fun, and I can even, as we're starting up Doom, I can even kind of show you a little bit of how that, let's see here. I can show you how I put that together. If it'll let me. Let's see here. Okay, cool. So we're in the editor now. This is Unreal Engine. This is that dream world that I was talking about. And so, yeah, let's just pull up one of my cutscenes here. So yeah, this is that first one where he's walking and then lightning strikes the ground, and you know, those 3 bolts turn into the rings, gateways, rings, whatever you want to call them. In the book they're called rings, they're gateways. But yeah, there's also going to be some like vibration in the controller for those really like impactful parts. So the lightning strikes and him falling on the ground a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, so he falls on the ground for a little bit. But I like that he's alert. He's super alert, so like you can already tell that his senses are supreme, for lack of a better word, because as soon as that lightning bolt strikes, he does that little jump back. I wanted to make sure that I included that. So yeah, he's pretty alert when it comes to dangers. And then let's see, when the stranger in white talks to us, this is what it looks like. Yeah, all my audio clips, animations, different effects. Yeah. Of course, you know, it doesn't look like much when it's just the scene playing by itself. That's why you have to see it like all together when in an actual gameplay test, because right now those 3 gates are supposed to be behind me, but you can't see them because it's just a bunch of different code together working in unison. So
Unless you're
yeah,
prepared
it looks
to
pretty
fight
rough
for
right
your
now,
ground,
but I'm definitely going to be working on this for the rest of this week into next week, and yeah, I want to show what that finally looks like, because this is where the game will start. This is chapter 1, and it's definitely looking a lot closer to the chapter 1 that I had in my mind. One thing we didn't see is the opening cutscene. Starts with him waking up. Well, sort of waking up. This is all a dream world. So, you know, he's sleeping, and then when he comes here, it's like he's entering the dream through sleep. Like, so starts with him lying in the grass, and then he comes awake. And he looks around. All of these are skippable, by the way, so yeah. And then the third one, this is the one that I'm still working on. It's not finished, but yeah, he gets sliced in the face. So those swords are spinning. I applied some slow-mo to the actual gameplay because it's so fast you hardly have time to see what happens, but this is how it plays in real time. It's like pretty quick. And then yeah, he has the slash on his cheek. But let's try to slow it down a little bit. So yeah, they're there. The walls of water are, you know, rushing around, and then want to make sure. Okay, stream is still going. So those water walls are still going, and then they charge at each other. That guy's spinning swords are coming closer, closer, and then slash on the cheek. Bam. Catches him by surprise, and then we can see a little bit of blood there dripping out. And then he wipes his face. Yeah, we saw that. And he'll taunt you like that. Are you giving up so soon? And then we notice something. It's kind of hard to see first time through, but his eyes change color and his clothes get darker. That's kind of an indication of him going into like his own dark mode. So that's very important for this series because you have dark, light, and in between your normal form. So this is our first time experiencing a sort of dark mode, and the reason that's important is because they explain later on that if you lean too heavily on the dark, yeah, you'll get a bunch of strength. You're twice as strong, twice as fast, but there's detriments to it, and you shouldn't overly rely on the dark. And the same with the light, actually. They're even adamant about that with the light. Like, if you're too reliant on the light, you won't know when to fight. So you have to have balance. So in this sequence, we get to see him kind of get angry for the first time, and then, you know, start charging at him. Sword grinds on the ground. That's kind of inspired by Kingdom Hearts 2. There's a certain fight toward the end of the game with Roxas and Sora. Roxas has got the two keyblades, and he's like dragging them on the ground, and they make sparks. So yeah, that's where that comes from. But like I said, this is all in the book, and that book was written back in 2009. So finally coming to light here. Yeah, he swings, he misses because he's a little too angry. So that's what comes with using the dark too much, is that you're angrier, you're stronger, but you don't always see everything that's happening. So he misses and blocks his attacks, and this guy just kind of shrugs off one of Jake's attacks. Kind of that's kind of a cool part, just kind of showing how powerful this guy is compared to Jake. Just kind of shrugs it off. But yeah, then he gets hit There's supposed to be a little bit more blood here. It's not supposed to be too bloody. My plan is to have it rated T for teen. So yeah, it's not gonna be one of those games that has gore or like too much blood. It's enough to where you get what's happening and you can feel for the characters. So then he puts all 3 blades into rotation. So at first it's just 2 that are hovering around him, but then he lets go of his 3rd sword, and then it joins the other 2 to make like a helicopter, and then he freaking launches at Jake. Yeah, and then that's where it ends, because I need to work on it, obviously, but yeah, I'm really excited about this one. It really feels right, compared to how it was before. So yeah, stay tuned for more updates on that, because the sooner I can get this done, I mean, the sooner we could just look. There's 20. How many chapters? We don't need that. Let's see. 25 chapters. So 25 chapters in the book. You know, I've never done this, but can I show you the book? Let me see if I can show you. Let's see here. Can I show the book? Hey, there it is. So, yeah. This is Supreme Heroes in written form. The image is obviously new. I kind of replaced the old image just because this one looks way better. But yeah, I mean, this one is available to buy on iUniverse.com, Amazon. If you look it up, it really goes into everything, and I'm planning to republish it because I wrote the book when I was 14. So I've definitely learned a lot in the... Has it been 16 years? 18? No, 20. I'm still going. 22. 22 years ago, bro. So definitely want to make this an accurate adaptation. But yeah, those are the 3 blades that we'll get to experience right now in my progress on right here. I'm about, let's see if I can show it. I'm about right here in the chapter. So we have about 2 pages to go. A little over 2 pages. So what we've seen so far is everything else from about 2 pages. So yeah, pretty excited about that. And yeah, with that out of the way, we'll jump into Doom: The Dark Ages, where I think we have 1 more level, and then we'll be finished with the game. Then we can play something else next week. I've been really into RoboCop. That's a really good one. That one surprised me. So, finished the first game. I'm playing the second one, Unfinished Business. So, yeah, we'll try to stream where I'm at next week. But yeah, let's jump into some Doom now. I'm gonna go ahead and close out some stuff. But I appreciate you tuning in, because that was a pretty exciting little update, little work in progress. So. Yeah, Doom has been pretty fun so far. Really liking the story, the gameplay. I really do enjoy the shield aspect of this game. It reminds me a lot of Avium. Avium and God of War kind of combined, so it's pretty fun. Everyone's following. Nice. Uh-oh. I'm noticing something here. Let me restart the game. It did this last time where it kind of like skips quite a bit. And we don't want that. Alright, let's see if this works a little bit better. I'm going to continue looking for another streaming service or streaming software, because that could be contributing to the hitches and glitches. Alright, that seems to be better.
send Azra to the Slayer.
Draw the horde to us!
I go my own way. Alright. I work alone.
Buy him as much time as you can.
Oh.
Approaching Azur's hangar.
Slayer's getting close!
Alright, we'll have to come back for that. Looks like we're done in this area, except for that. Well, we can come back for that. Done here. All right, let's go straight to the end.
Azric's ship is taking off.
Yeah, that was a big one. Are we not going to acknowledge that? No. Nice. Nice.
Locking on Azric's signal now.
He's on board. We hold our ground until he finishes this.
Rage mode. Same thing.
Kill him.
Open up.
Avenge your god. If I die, Reach, your god, all his knowledge will be lost forever.
You're done.
I command the Horde. Kill me, And this war will never end.
You're done. Again.
Any word?
No one has seen him since the assault.
We are much better off with him on his own. And you, young sentinel. Your father tells me great things about you.
Thank you, sir. The Maker's Church has disavowed all actions taken by the Creed. They give their word he was acting alone, and they'll bring justice to anyone that collaborated with him.
We'll move forward with our own Inquisition, quietly.
It is time to look forward. We will always be a people of faith. But we must consider now who we will put that faith in. And I say to you, there is no better place to turn to than ourselves. This is our home, and we will stand together to the last sentinel to defend it. As we have before, as our ancestors did, as we always will. And lastly, I'll ask you to join me now in paying our respect to him. The people of Argentanur rest easier now, knowing he is out there.
Yeah, buddy. He's waiting. Demon Slayer.
Targets identified.
I see, so that ship becomes his. Gotcha.
Slayer, prepped for launch.
Cool beans. Yeah, pretty good game. $77, not bad, but yeah, we'll come back and get a better score later on. But yeah, that was pretty fun. A lot of action. That's what you come to expect with the Doom franchise. Action, blood, just tearing limb from limb, rip and tear, as the song suggests. Cool. Whoa. Speed up and speed up even more. Cool. Alright. Yeah. Cool beans. Oh, that looks cool. That's a cool skin. Red and black, those are my colors, obviously. That's cool. Right on. I'm gonna go ahead and equip that. Yeah. Very cool. Alright. So that's that. And thanks for watching. Next week, like I said, we'll try to stream something else, another game. Probably RoboCop, if I haven't beaten it by then. And I'll try to deliver more updates for Supreme Heroes, especially with that cinematic of Chapter 1. That one's really, really fun. You know, because I'm on my own, so I'm having to do all the animation, all the effects, all of that. But once I see it come together, it makes it all worth it. And what makes it even more worth it is your likes, your shares, your comments, just anything to comment on the content you've been seeing. So it really helps the channel, helps me out, and we're finally a partner now with YouTube, so that's great news. And so we'll be back with more content for sure. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.